Hey guys, Toast here, and today I want to introduce you to a new series called The Slice. Now you might be asking yourself, what is The Slice? Well, it's a weekly series where I'm going to do a quick breakdown of the previous week's gaming news, announcements, and what I consider to be points of interest. Now that said, let's jump right into this week. Since it's the first week, I'm going to go back a little bit more than 7 days just to cover one thing that everyone's talking about, and that is of course the Battlefield 1 trailer. I am super excited for this game. I'm a longtime Battlefield player since the days of Bad Company 2, and I've enjoyed pretty much every game in the series. Well, okay, maybe except for Hardline, but does that really count since it wasn't made by DICE? Anyway, I've been really jonesing for a World War I game on a AAA engine, and it seems like DICE is finally delivering. The visuals look amazing, though this is pretty well expected of the Frostbite engine at this point. Now I'm both curious and excited to see how they're going to take the lesser-known battles from World War I and the locations that most people don't necessarily know about and flesh them out into a full game. The open beta is coming out later this year, though they haven't given an exact date for it yet. The game itself is releasing in October. Up next, let's talk about the big game releases this week for those on the PlayStation 4 platform, and that's Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. The game released on May 10th on the PlayStation 4 exclusively, and is sitting pretty at a 4.5-star overview on Metacritic as of the creation of this commentary. Regardless of whether or not you're a fan of the series or Naughty Dog as a developer, you have to admit that they're experts at pushing the Sony hardware to its limits and producing phenomenal-looking and mechanically smooth games. This game is no exception. While it might not be quite as stunning as the previous trailers led us on to believe, it still looks amazing. I don't have much history with the franchise, as prior to becoming a primarily PC gamer, I was a die-hard Xbox 360 player, so I unfortunately didn't have access to this series. That said, I do have the first 3 games on PlayStation 4, and will be playing through them all so I can eventually tackle Uncharted 4. Moving on, EA has confirmed that the sequel to Battlefront is in the lineup of games to be released next year. From a base mechanics standpoint, Battlefront was a really enjoyable game. The challenges that they're going to face, though, are going to come in the form of providing enough content in terms of maps, classes, weapons, and gear. The game's numbers are dwindling on PC, and while they're certainly higher on PS4 and Xbox One, they're not as high as they probably should be for a AAA first-person shooter that launched less than a year ago. The open beta for Blizzard's upcoming objective-based first-person shooter Overwatch ended this past Monday. Hype for the game seems to be at pretty much an all-time high even after people have finally gotten their hands on it, which is a great sign. I can't wait until the release of this game in just a little over a week on May 24th. Pre-orders are available for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. The game's available for $60 on all 3 of the platforms, however, PC players can also purchase a $40 version of the game through Blizzard directly. And finally, CD Projekt Red announced the release date for The Witcher 3 expansion, Blood and Wine. The expansion is said to be the largest of the expansions for a game that is already what most would consider massive in size. I myself have put well over 50 hours into this game at this point, and admittedly, I still have a ton to do. The game director mentioned, quote, a dynamic point of interest system, a new Gwent deck, new endgame mutation mechanics, and even a place for Geralt to call home, and it's all happening in a new region as big as No Man's Land in the base game, unquote. The expansion is due to release on May 31st. Well guys, that's going to do it for this week's Slice. I hope you enjoyed. I'd like to quickly announce that I do plan to bring another new series in the near future that'll be a Q&A with you guys. As I mentioned in my launch video, I want this channel to be about communication, so let me know in the comments any gaming related questions you'd like me to answer, and I'll cover a handful of them each Sunday in a new video series called Talk with Toast. If you like this video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more content, please subscribe and follow me on Facebook and Twitter, links in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Toast, and I'll talk to you soon.